Days after the violence between two student groups, Delhi University's Ramjas College is expected to open today. There is a heavy presence of police that has been made at North Campus to ensure that nothing untoward takes place. The centre has been seeking a report from the Delhi University in connection with the campus violence. In fact, the Rashtravadi Shikshak Sangh, a teachers' body affiliated to the RSS, will be also holding a dharna today, while the ABVP, what we hear, will be holding a Tiranga march. Social media campaign by rival student unions AISA and ABVP has also intensified. The student believed to be an ABVP supporter claimed that she was assaulted by the All India Students Association or the AISA activists.
रामजस कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद सर, आपसे जानना चाहूंगी, देख रही हूं मैं आपकी सुबह से लगातार लोगों से बातचीत कर रहे हैं, एक अपील भी आपने यहाँ पर प्रस्तुत की है, क्या लिखा है उस अपील में आपने?
अपील में बच्चों से रिक्वेस्ट की है कि ये सब कुछ छोड़ो, बैठ के बात करो, कन्फ्रंटेशन से कुछ निकलेगा नहीं.
First of all, violence is never acceptable. I'll give a very neutral response. Violence is never acceptable. But at the same time, I think world class society को भी ये बात सोचना चाहिए था कि after so much of incidents happening in JNU, उमर खालिद को at least नहीं बुलाना चाहिए था, because यहाँ पे ABVP के भी domination है. So they should have thought about it. किसी और को बुला लेते and that would have been better, I think.
मैम पहले से बहुत better situations हैं और मतलब बहुत normal अब हो चुका है. जैसे 2-3 दिन पहले situations थी तो अब बहुत normal हो चुका है. तो
ये तिरंगा.
In fact, Home Minister Rajnath Singh has also given a reaction during a presser in Varanasi. He said that the police commissioner is personally looking into the matter and that he has asked them to maintain absolute sensitivity into the case. He also said that he is continuously in touch with the police on the situation on ground. Meanwhile, a political slugfest has ensued with the left and right-wing parties now taking sides over this entire controversy.
वैसे दिल्ली में रामजस कॉलेज में की घटना के बारे में मैंने पुलिस कमिश्नर से स्वयं बातचीत की है और यह मैंने कहा है कि पूरी सावधानी बरती जाए वो और कहीं पर भी किन्हीं छात्रों के साथ कुछ गड़बड़ी न हो, संयत तरीके से ही कदम उठाए जाएं स्थिति को संभालने के लिए. और मैं बराबर अपनी दिल्ली पुलिस कमिश्नर के कांटेक्ट में मैं रहा हूं
कि जिस प्रकार से रामजस विद्यालय में ये कम्युनिस्ट लोग आकर के घुसे, वहां पर उन्होंने शांति भंग की है, जेएनयू जैसा वातावरण बना रहे हैं, तो इसकी अनुमति अब ज्यादा नहीं दी जा सकती, कठोर कार्रवाई की जाएगी.
That's not all. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has also joined the ongoing debate on nationalism. Speaking at a FICCI event in London, Arun Jaitley said that freedom of speech does not include the right to question India's sovereignty. Let's listen in.
I don't think there is or could be any space for violence. I personally believe that free speech in India and in any society, this whole issue has to be debated. Whether free speech permits you to assault the very sovereignty of the nation.
Welcome back. We'll tell you more about the Oscars in just a bit, but let's just tell you that 6 days after the violence broke out at Ramjas College, the college will be opening today. There is a heavy deployment of police that has been made in North Campus. The centre has sought a report from the Delhi University in connection with the recent campus violence. The Rashtravadi Shikshak Sangh, a teachers' body affiliated to the RSS, will be holding a dharna today, while the ABVP will be holding a Tiranga march. The social media campaign by rival students union, the All India Students Association and the ABVP has already intensified. A student believed to be an ABVP supporter claimed that she was assaulted by an AISA activist. Okay, so these are the visuals of the presence of police personnel that have been deployed as the college will be reopening. I'm going to go straight across now to India Today's managing editor Rahul Kanwal for more on what can one expect and the kind of heated debate that has been triggered as a result of that Facebook post by Gurmeher Kaur.
Two posts going viral, one by Gurmeher Kaur, the other by Prerna
Bhardwaj. She's a spokesperson of the ABVP, alleging that she was molested by left-leaning students outside the Ramjas College. Prerna Bhardwaj is now joining us live and exclusive on India Today. Prerna, I want to start by understanding from you your side of the story. I have several questions about the video post that you've put out, but before that, tell us, why are you so upset and what do you think these left students did?
Actually, the media is showing just one side of story. It was necessary to post my side of story as well. When this clash broke out, it was not that ABVP was hitting them. It all started from their side first. They started getting violent. They started abusing our girl volunteers. I will tell you my part of story. When I was standing there, several people calling ABVP Murdabad, ABVP Murdabad, Bharat ki, Kashmir ki azadi, Bastar ki azadi. They were calling these anti-India slogans, and we were continuously telling them to stop it, stop it, stop it. When in protest, I told them to stop it. They started hitting our girl volunteers. I was there. Uske baad, one of their volunteers held my hand. The other one started tearing my kurta apart. I didn't get a major injury, but उन्होंने मेरा कुर्ता हाथ के ऊपर से फाड़ा. They started tearing my kurta apart from my shoulder to my hand. In protest, I told them to step back, step back, step back. They did not. There were many people who then came up from their side. For once, I got afraid, but I fought back from them. Uske baad, they started pushing me. I told them to step back and they started pushing me. One of them held my hand. Then they started pushing off my chest. They kept hitting me. I was telling them to leave me, leave me. When the police intervened, then they stepped back. Then I got back, and this is what happened with me.
Okay, while I empathize with what you're saying happened to you, I have some questions now, Prerna, about this video that Gurmeher Kaur has put out and the kind of visceral reactions that we are witnessing in the aftermath. What do you think of Gurmeher Kaur, a Kargil martyr's daughter, saying that she wants peace with Pakistan, that she wants India and Pakistan to work together? And why do so many people in the ABVP have such a problem with what Gurmeher is saying?
See, the problem is Gurmeher is, I do not know what card she is playing. Her father was died in a war. It was against Pakistan. It is a part of war. As an NCC cadet, what I know is when somebody is trying to attack you, or his father died in protecting the nation. I believe what ABVP was doing was protecting the nation. They stood up for all those anti-national elements. You know what happened in JNU on 9th February? They raised anti-India slogans like भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे इंशाअल्लाह इंशाअल्लाह अफजल तेरे अरमानों को हम मंजिल तक पहुंचाएंगे. Umar Khalid was the one who started off with this slogan. अफजल तेरे अरमानों को हम मंजिल तक पहुंचाएंगे. What Afzal's arman he wanted to complete? He was the main conspirator in an attack where 8 police personnel died. He was a main conspirator on the attack on the Indian Parliament, which is a symbol of democracy. I emphasize it as a symbol of democracy, the Parliament. And then they said Umar Khalid must be given a chance to speak. All he speaks is about tearing the country apart. All he speaks about is Kashmir ki azadi, Baksar mange azadi. If every state is demanding its own independence, I do not know Gurmeher Kaur's father, who fought for the integrity of this nation. Will that nation stand united or not?
No, but tell me this, Prerna. Prerna, tell me this. Prerna, tell me this. And we don't have to agree with what Gurmeher Kaur says. I, for example, don't necessarily believe that till the time Pakistan stops sponsoring terrorism, that there can be friendship between India and Pakistan. I have a view very different from the view that Gurmeher has taken. But my question to you is this. Why pounce on Gurmeher? Why should she not, in a country like India, have the right to express herself without being attacked by Randeep Hooda, by ABVP people, by Virendra Sehwag? Surely she's entitled to have her point of view.
For sure, everybody is free to express their views, but you are blaming a certain organization that I am not afraid of ABVP and I stand against them. So that is wrong. If you are a daughter of a matriarch army man, I surely tell you that your father must have been fighting for the integrity of the country. If your father would have been here, he wouldn't have been so proud of you, because your father fought for the nation and you're standing against it in some way. What I believe is that ABVP stood for the anti-national elements. ABVP stood up against these anti-national elements in the campus. They didn't want the integrity of the country to be hurt. What they were demanding was azadi of different states. And Gurmeher should know. I do not know she knows both sides of the story as well, but if she is playing that matriarch's daughter card, I do not think it is right. Even I can play that I am an NCC cadet, and in NCC we are told to fight for the nation, and this is what I did, but we do not play any sympathy card. Okay, we accept that your father has been killed in a war against Pakistan, and if Pakistan is not a terrorist state, we should happily accept their friendship. And we even in India, there have been several attempts to,
Prerna Bhardwaj, stay with me. I want to bring in a contrarian voice. Shaila Rashid, well-known left student activist, now joining us on this broadcast. You're saying that Gurmeher is playing the martyr card, that her father died fighting for this nation, and that she's speaking for people who speak against this nation. This war on Twitter, on social media, in public imagination going viral. Shaila Rashid, your thoughts on Prerna Bhardwaj accusing left students of hassling her, molesting her, tearing up her clothes?
Am I expected to reply on both things? Because I would like to reply on both things. First,
yes, please.
I have heard, I've not heard about the accusations from Prerna herself, but I did hear a second-hand account from one of your journalists. So the thing is, first of all, let's clear this out. Let's clear this whole, cloud about this molestation and everything. The thing is, we take these things very seriously, first of all. If there is an accusation of molestation, if there is, some girl who is saying that she has been molested or she has been, touched inappropriately or abused by someone, our solidarity is with her. And we believe that a fair probe, a fair and thorough investigation of the same must happen. Now, I don't know, and I am not expected to comment on whether molestation did take place, did not take place, what happened, what did not happen. For all of these things, we have a court of law. Principally, our position always is that whenever there is an accusation of molestation or rape or whatever, we do not jump to the defense. Even if we know, even if we were there, even if we have seen, we don't say things like, oh, she's lying or something, because we do not believe in the character assassination of women.
Okay, so you're asking, willing to file a police complaint? Have you filed an FIR so far? If not, what is it that you're waiting for? The left is saying if you're right, then go ahead and file a complaint. Let the police investigate, Prerna.
We did file a complaint. We have got our MLCs done. We have filed a complaint in Morris Nagar police station regarding this assault. I completely agree with Shaila Rashid that yes, if assault takes place, we stand in solidarity. Even our girl activists were hurt in that attack, and I do not know the activists were hurt or not. I won't be commenting on that, but we have filed a complaint at Dusu bearers, and we have got our MLCs done, and police
No, but this is about a personal molestation complaint, not a generic complaint of violence. She's saying, have you yourself filed a complaint saying that your clothes were torn up, that you yourself were molested? That, I think, is the question that Shaila is asking.
The question is, yes, we have filed a complaint, but as an individual, I did not recognize anybody. He was not from our party, so that I know his name. There were many people, I do not know their name. If I see them, yes, I will recognize their faces. In general, all the students who were molested, we have complained a FIR against them. So the police will investigate.
I hear you. So I want a comment now from Shaila Rashid on the other point that was made by Prerna Bhardwaj, that her father died fighting for this country. She's speaking for those who want to break our country.
See, the thing is, we have to understand Gurmeher's sentiment. And just as Prerna Bhardwaj should not be, demonized and her character should not be assassinated, Similarly, Gurmeher Kaur or every other woman deserves to be treated with that kind of dignity. Now, the thing is, Gurmeher Kaur had her father when she was very young, died fighting at the border. And she knows what is the cost of war. And if she is expressing a sentiment rather than behaving in this bizarre kind of fashion that right-wing trolls on the internet do, attacking anyone left, right and center, they should, have some sensitivity, and they should, understand that these are people who have actually paid the price for war. And war is something that we must fundamentally be against. And even if there are political problems, there have been political problems between Germany and France, tremendous political problems. But those have been resolved, and today they have a porous border. And those in the larger interest of humanity must be resolved. What is wrong in saying that? And there is this pattern of misquoting, there is this pattern of quoting selectively. She had a huge message out of which 9 words were, basically quoted by all these trolls, right-wing trolls on the internet. And that's really unfair. Now, the thing is, what we should be discussing is not individuals. Whether Gurmeher Kaur's father died at the border, whether he did not die at the border, everyone has a right to have an opinion, and what we should be debating is ideas. What we should not be debating is, individuals, that she let her father down. She has she is an independent citizen. She has a right to have an opinion. And the other thing that I also wanted to say is that, when I say that whatever Prerna Bhardwaj has, alleged, that must be investigated. What must also be investigated is the role of the ABVP activists. We have videos throughout the whole protest, how they were dragging women by the hair, how they were pelting stones and everything. We have videos of all of that. Now, accusations of rape or sexual harassment, they should be investigated. Accusations of, hooliganism and stone pelting, they must be investigated. We cannot pit one against the other to justify one against the other. Now, my appeal, this circus has been going on for several days. Ki, humne ye nahi kiya, humne wo nahi kiya. Matlab, agar ABVP activists, if they are feeling too ashamed to own up to the violence, then let them join us in demanding. Tomorrow we are having a march.
Right.
Let the ABVP activists come to the march and say no, say a firm no to violence in our campuses. That is the fundamental, principle that we have to uphold.
Right.
And they must come to the march and make a speech condemning violence on campuses.
Right. Shaila Rashid, I've been hearing your conversation with Rahul Kaval. This is Avantika here. I'm also joined by the AISA, the All India Student Association President, Kavalpreet Kaur. Ma'am, thanks so much for speaking to us. What do you make of all these acquisitions, all these this blame game that has begun, which has been triggered by one Facebook post? I mean, are we seeing student politics in universities at an all-time low yet again?
See, basically, if you are talking about Gurmeher's post, then it is very, very, it is saddening, it is outraging that a women student who is from such a deemed, college, she has posted something that she feels is correct, that she holds that opinion, that she is not afraid of, a political organization, a student organization who pelted stone on students the other day. If she has came out in support of these common students and professors, what are we seeing? We are seeing that the whole, she is now being used, her name is being dragged unnecessarily by ABVP, that she is supporting anti-national elements. It is not the case. She is actually standing for the common students and the professors who were beaten up there the other day outside Ramjas College, outside Morris Nagar police station the other day. She is for them.
Yes.
And that's why for them she is saying that I'm not afraid of that hooligan student organization. And now you are, what is happening? Now what is happening is that the whole trollers from the ABVP, the whole trollers from BJP IT cell are, they have started making memes of her. They have started, using her name for the unnecessary posts.
But where does the ASI, fit into this current imbroglio, Kamalpreet, that has also acquired political color? I mean, we are seeing reactions from politicians. We have an ABVP student who has claimed that she was assaulted by an AISI activist. So what do you have to say about these charges as well?
You know, the first point is what were ABVP people doing there? What happened in Ramjas College the other day? They came inside the college with the student union of the college union is basically supported by ABVP, and the DUSU members of ABVP came in the college. They disrupted the academic session and they started throwing they started pelting stones on the professors and on the teachers. And the next day when we had this march, when we called out for the march, it was me who had given the call, but that was not given by AISA. I have been repeatedly telling the media person, telling the police that it is not about AISA and ABVP. It is not about left and right. What is happening in our campus right now is the attack on our democratic
But didn't you just suggest that the violence, the campus violence, the violence that was witnessed in Ramjas was triggered by the ABVP? Are you suggesting that?
The violence triggered by, yes, the violence, we had given the call for a march, a peaceful march. We had already notified the police that we are going to have this march that will start from Ramjas College till Morrisnagar police station. Now the ABVP people came that day, they surrounded our march of peaceful common students and professors. Now the point is, now they are alleging that they were harassed. What were they doing there in the first place? There was no academic session going on. There was no Umar Khalid invited that day. What were they doing that day? This is the question that they need to answer. What the whole social media is flooded by the videos which are showing that 5 or 6 of their people were coming again and again towards the march.
Just stay with me. In fact, that's an important question that you asked. Let me pose that question to Saket Bahuguna, who is also joining us now at this stage from the ABVP. So that's the charge, that this is all the doing, the campus violence, the ugly scuffle. This is all the doing of the ABVP. It was the ABVP students who had indulged in that kind of violence. How do you respond?
Avantika ji, I am very surprised, and it looks very funny when people from AISA and SFI claim that these ABVP people came from outside. Most of them were Ramjas students, and all the others were also Delhi University students, whereas everyone, almost 90% of the people gathered there for these communist march were either from JNU or Ambedkar University or Jamia. In fact, they were all outsiders. They had deliberately gathered there to create a commotion. The way they have done in JNU and HU, the same way they wanted to create chaos in Delhi University. And now they are blaming ABVP for that. All these students there who were barring their entry, who were saying we will not allow outsiders inside our college, and you can also cross-check this from the Ramjas College Students Union, they were all outsiders, the communists, and people who were supportive of us, who were gathered there, most of them were Delhi University, all of them were Delhi University students.
Okay,
so this is a completely flawed charge.
No, okay, you're saying it's a flawed charge. Only the police can decipher as to who really is behind that very ugly scuffle. This has led to this huge political battle. But tell me something, Saket. Why is it a young Delhi University student who put up a Facebook post is now being trolled, is now being threatened, has invited a barrage of threats from so many people from across the country, including the ABVP? She has spoken up against the ABVP. She has very openly said that students will no longer tolerate the kind of hooliganism or the kind of violence associated with the ABVP. Saket?
I welcome her to politics, and but it is very unfortunate that she is using the name of her father in support of those who are trying to break this country. She's justifying those who raised anti-national slogans inside Ramjas College on the 21st. This is really unfortunate. But then it is freedom of expression, she would say. So I request her to please go to the police, file an FIR and not play a victim card over media.
Okay, Saket, just stay with me. Kamalpreet, in fact, from AISA wants to make a point. Go ahead.
See, basically the first point is I want to clarify two things. The march that was called outside, the march was not called from that. The march was not supposed to start from inside the college. The march was called that it will start outside Ramjas College and go to Morrisnagar police station. So even if the people from other universities came, I don't know why they didn't enter the college. Unlike ABVP people, who there are so many videos on the social media that has not been posted by AISA, that has been posted by the media, which are clearly showing that there's 7-8 people from ABVP who are running towards the march, who are assaulting the students, who assaulted Professor Prasanta Chakrabarti. His muffler, he was tied on his neck by his muffler, and what happened? Right now he's in hospital, and these were the people who are outsiders. But even now I'm not debating about the outsider and insider issue. Coming to Gurmeher, what we can see, there is clearly these people are giving rape threat. I mean, is it what your hooliganism is all about? Is it what your free speech tells you, that okay, giving rape threat is your nationalism? You know, inviting speakers like Subramanian Swamy into our campus. We have not thrown stones at you, even if you had this seminar on Hindu Rashtra. I mean, this is your free speech. Okay, go ahead, but at least have this dignity to honor disagreements. You can sit with us. You could have debated with Umar Khalid, but you didn't. You started pelting stone on the people. This is not justified. This is not what a university is. This can happen in your RSS Shaka, but this cannot happen in a university.
Saket, how do you respond to that charge? How do you respond to what Kamalpreet said, that debate and dissent is part of our country's democratic ethos, and there is perhaps an attempt to stifle free speech? I mean, what one saw at Ramjas College brought back memories of what had happened in JNU.
I would like to remind Kamalpreet ji that India is a democratic country and not a communist country. So people have got every right to debate, discuss and dissent. And that is a right guaranteed by the Constitution of India, in which we all believe. But the point is that raising anti-national slogans is not part of freedom of expression. Raising slogans like Kashmir ki azadi or tak jang rahegi or Kashmir ki mange azadi, Bastar mange azadi, this is grossly misuse of freedom of expression. And this will not be tolerated by the youth of the country.
The question I wanted to ask you is that why are things getting out of control? You know, student politics have been witnessed for years together. I'm from Delhi University. We have had, difference of opinion. We have had various controversial statements. We have also have different differing ideologies. Why are things getting ugly? Why are they coming down to violence or people being manhandled?
In Delhi University, there is NSUI, there is AISA, there is SFI, there are so many political organizations and student organizations.
Yes.
And all of them organize programs and do various marches and
everyone is entitled to their views or to their ideologies.
Of course they are. But not in JNU, for example. You invite Ramdev in JNU and immediately the Students' Union will write to the Vice Chancellor not to allow Ramdev to speak. If Pranab Mukherjee, the Honorable President of India, is invited to JNU, these people will show him black flags. So that is their model of intolerance, which is seen in Kerala, where Swayam Sevaks and ABVP Karyakartas are killed almost every day. That is the intolerance they show in West Bengal, that they beat up all ABVP Karyakartas and RSS Swayam Sevaks. But that is not the model in Delhi University, because ABVP is the dominant force here. We allow debate and discussion. But when you invite Umar Khalid, who has shouted anti-national slogans right in front of our eyes, we cannot let him speak there. We cannot allow him. And that is what primarily was his purpose to come to Ramjas College, was shown by his compatriots, who, when Umar Khalid's permission was cancelled, raised anti-national slogans.
That is what I don't understand. If the invite was cancelled, he in fact was named in that sedition case, but if his invite was cancelled by the college authorities, then what was the problem? What exactly happened?
Then all these communist cadres, they gathered there and they raised anti-national slogans, Kashmir Mange Azadi, Bastar Mange Azadi, and this was the main point of commotion. This was the point that hurt the students there, and this was the point why all of this started.
Okay.
Otherwise, 2 sessions of the seminar were held. Nobody had a problem with the entire seminar. Nobody was saying them not to organize the seminar.
Kamalpreet, how would you respond to that? The charge against, indirectly to AISA as well also, that there perhaps is an intended provocation from the left-wing students' associations.
See, the first point is, even when the invitation to Umar Khalid was cancelled, they didn't let the seminar continue. And after that, what they did, they locked the students and teachers who were there in the seminar hall, you can say just there in front of the canteen. They started gathering and they locked the gate of the seminar hall. They didn't let the students and teachers come out from that hall when they were having another session.
Who started gathering, Kamalpreet? Are these students from Ramjas College and other colleges of DU, or are these ABVP students?
ABVP people were there gathering. They were inside. They were, there. The seminar hall was locked from outside. The electricity was cut, and they started throwing stones. They were standing niche. Canteen ke upar there is seminar hall. और उसके नीचे से they started throwing stones on the सेमिनार हॉल, और उस सेमिनार हॉल के पूरे जो कांच के शीशे थे वो टूटे, उसके ऊपर देयर सो मेनी स्टूडेंट्स हु गॉट इंजर्ड इन दैट. आई मीन द पॉइंट हियर इज, आर यू गोइंग टू मेक यूनिवर्सिटी अ den of your violence? I mean, it is not the first case. You have to understand that what happened in Ramjas is not the first instance of hooliganism by ABVP. They told us, I mean, Saket Bahuguna very candidly made the statement that what is happening in Kerala, what is happening in Bengal. Let's come to what is happening in DU. Your student wing is a very dominant force, we agree. And it has been repeatedly, vandalizing every program in DU. But what happened in Ramjas College, the media, gathered, the attention of the media came to Ramjas College, and that's why now you are urging that anti-national slogans were raised. No, even before that, Professor Chaman Lal's session was supposed to be here at Arts Faculty where I am sitting on Bhagat Singh. Chaman Lal has to give a talk on Bhagat Singh. That was vandalized by ABVP. What is anti-national in that? How will you justify it? Ankur Theatre Society of Khalsa College, their band, their play, the band proposal was proposed on their play. What was anti-national in that? Nothing. How many times will you bring this rhetoric of anti-national in jingoism? I mean, there will be one time where you will be, you will have no more defense of creating this false binary of nationalism and anti-nationalism. In HU, in Hyderabad Central University, on Rohit Vemula, you put the charge of anti-national to justify whatever you did. In JNU, you justified your violence, you justify, what your own student organizations made Z News enter, they made all those post videos, even the charges have not been proved. I mean, you have to understand, there is a constitution in place, the charges have not been proved, and even Delhi police have not filed the charge sheet that was supposed to be filed in 90 days. What will you do? Will you justify this violence even after Rumal Khalid will not get convicted? How many times will you justify? I mean, our constitution says now nobody is guilty. I mean, anti-proven so. I mean, how can you you have this idea that there will be something anti-national in Ramjas College? Who told you? Who gave you this right? Nobody gave you. You cannot distribute this certificates of nationalism on everybody. Nobody gave you this right. We are citizens of India. We follow constitution. You are the one who takes anti-constitution remarks everywhere.
Right, Kamalpreet, I heard you. Just stay with me. In fact, I am going to get a quick response from Saket. But before that, I would request both of you to kindly stay on because we have a reaction from the principal of Ramjas College. Let's just listen in.
रामजस कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद सर, आपसे जानना चाहूंगी, देख रही हूँ मैं आपकी सुबह से लगातार लोगों से बातचीत कर रहे हैं, एक अपील भी आपने यहाँ पर प्रस्तुत की है, क्या लिखा है उस अपील में आपने?
अपील में बच्चों से रिक्वेस्ट की है कि ये सब कुछ छोड़ो, बैठ के बात करो, कन्फ्रंटेशन से कुछ निकलेगा नहीं.